Hello, everybody. It is DrewCola, and welcome to another Cola conversation. This is a very special Cola conversation because today we're going to be having a debate with. How do I word this? We're going to be having a debate: Nintendo versus Xbox. I've been wanting to do this for a while, and now that we have the people to do it, it's finally going to happen. So, who are the people? Obviously, I'm DrewCola. Here we have Hyrule Manzo.
Hi, how you doing?
Here we have, well, he doesn't have a YouTube, but just one of our friends, Carter47.
Hey.
Carter. All right. Then we have Gabe.
Nay.
Okay. Here we have Wiggins.
Hello.
All right. So, real quick, how this works before we get started is me, Colton, and I are going to be on the Nintendo side. Carter and Gabe are going to be on the Xbox side, and Michael's in the middle.
I'm the moderator.
Michael's the moderator. So we're going to be setting a 30-minute timer, and basically once that timer's done, the debate is over. All right, so are we ready to start this?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, first question is which console has the best uniqueness to it?
Do you want to start or should Xbox team
You can
start?
go.
Okay. Well.
Just turn your phone off to conserve battery.
I mean that's not a very tough question. It's Nintendo. It's that.
So you're
Xbox
saying
is
Xbox is which one's?
It's a console and it does what it needs to, and I'm gonna go in later on why the Xbox I personally think is a better system over Nintendo.
Okay, so at the time, I'm not saying right now, but at the time, I think the Wii was the most unique, mainly because of motion controls. It invented motion controls, and most games on the Wii are motion controls. So in that sense, I think they are very unique.
And I agree with you because Xbox is just a basic console, but
Okay, so I would like to bring something up. So, of course, Nintendo has lasted longer than Xbox. And basically, Nintendo started most... What I'm saying is, this is a really hard question to word, but the games that Nintendo started off, so like the 3D games, when the Nintendo 64 was out, it was the newest, the hottest game, like Super Mario 64, all of these 3D games. They're what kind of make the modern games right now. That's Nintendo, what I'm saying is, basically started it all. What do you have to say about that?
I see what you're saying because they were the first to introduce 3D graphics. But that's kind of hard to say since Xbox came out much later, and at the same time, Xbox has grown as large or larger than Nintendo in a much shorter time.
Yeah. But so would you say that the newest like 3D games right now would they be as great if not less great if it weren't for like Nintendo starting off 3D games?
That's something I can't really answer, but I mean 3D was imminent to happen. I think Nintendo just got to it first.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go on to the second question now.
Right.
The second question is that do you think? Wait, no. Actually, which console, in each one of your opinions, is which one has the better capability to run games?
I would probably have to say Xbox.
Yeah, Xbox.
Shoot. Yeah.
Just the latest iteration.
Yeah.
The Xbox X compared to the
Xbox One X.
Xbox One X, yeah, compared to the Switch. If you just compare like stats, I mean,
Yeah.
the Switch is a great console, and I like Nintendo. I just prefer Xbox.
Right.
because
Mm-hmm.
The
Same.
Switch has a lot of limitations in it. One of the big ones is its memory. It's locked at 30 frames a second, and the one thing that I did want to bring up is Nintendo is great that they're innovating, and I like that. That's cool with the motion controls and everything. But at the same time, they're limiting the amount of games they can have. It's because a lot of companies, besides Nintendo, like other game companies, don't want to make games for Nintendo because the motion controls, and it makes it more difficult, and it just means Nintendo has a much smaller library of games.
So the thing about motion controls is that most games that have motion controls, you can choose not to play with the motion controls. Most games I know.
True, but at the same time, none of their remotes are like normal remotes that most game companies are basing their controls off of. Like just the basic Wii remote. How are you gonna translate that into a game like a first person shooter like Halo?
So the thing about the Wii remote though is it has a whole bunch of add-ons like the nunchuck, the classic controller, all those. That's basically how a first-person shooter is kind of made. And also, I know a first-person shooter on the Wii. I'm talking about Metroid Prime. It's like it's a little bit weirder, but like you aim at the screen and that's how you move the camera. It's kind of weird.
Actually, with Xbox, I actually think that they actually could do something with motion control.
You
They
think?
have with the
with
Xbox Connect.
like I could see like a new Halo game coming out, and like they can actually use motion control. Like they could use a remote as a gun or something. They can actually do that instead of like that's what they could do, and actually maybe Nintendo can actually help them out, which I doubt that would ever happen. But I'm just saying like that could possibly happen actually.
So what I feel is that if you look at the Nintendo Switch Pro controller, it looks very similar to an Xbox One controller. Me, personally, I love Xbox One controls. I love it. And when I first saw the Switch trailer and I saw the Switch Pro controller, I said, I'm getting that immediately because that looks just like an Xbox One controller. And, like, I could see that controller is another reason why you could play most Xbox games on a Switch.
But okay, so they have the controller, sure. But then there's the problem of all these limitations on the Switch. For first, they're using cartridges, which is an amazing, and that's really cool.
I love it because I hate discs.
But the cartridges
They
just can't hold as much memory.
Yeah, that is very true.
And the Switch just can't run games.
Right.
Honestly, like, Zelda Breath of the Wild, that's an amazing game, and it looks great.
Mm-hmm.
But it's using the graphics, and if you try to make those graphics like newer games like Battlefield 1, this Switch just simply could not handle it at all.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And it's also locked at 30 frames, which
Very true.
is honestly a big problem.
Yeah, but props to the Switch, though, because it is using a lot of third parties. I think, okay, this was another topic. So, obviously the past 4.5 years, Nintendo has been doing terribly because of the Wii U.
That was actually going to be my next question.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I was thinking about this topic. So past 4.5 years, they've been doing really bad, mainly because of the Wii U. And because of this, Xbox and PlayStation, mainly Xbox, is just rising. It's unbelievable. So do you think that the Switch is gonna make it make Nintendo rise just a little bit more? Not exactly to the level of Xbox, but just rise out of the grave that the Wii U was, like out of the gutter, you know?
Yeah, I would say it's gonna help them out, but in the long run, they're not gonna be able to keep up because, especially like Xbox, they're working on a new console called Xbox Scorpio. It's gonna be able to run 4K games at 60 FPS, or at least that's what they're saying.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a huge step up from 30 frames.
You know, with that though, that's just gonna now when I'm thinking about it, that's just gonna cream even PlayStation. I mean, Nintendo's still gonna be last, but with PlayStation, they're just gonna get totally wiped out. But I don't know. I mean, with PlayStation, they haven't really actually did that many things, and my belief is that I think Nintendo's actually gonna beat PlayStation, but probably not Xbox with that new system that's coming out.
See, the thing is, though, Xbox and PlayStation have a most of the same games that are coming out. I mean, every game, really popular game, like Call of Duty or Battlefield or something like that, it's coming out on both consoles.
Yeah, and then it comes down to the console specs, and a lot of it right now is simply preference.
Yeah.
Like the PlayStation, I know is coming out with the PlayStation Pro eventually, which is kind of their counter to the Xbox Scorpio. I'm not too sure about stats on it or anything.
Yeah, well.
All right, next quick.
Time for my next question.
Okay.
For the both of you, this is question is: how do you feel about Nintendo allowing Black Ops to be able to join part of their games.
What? I'm confused.
So, as the Wii U, and I don't know about the Switch because I don't know if this is true or not, but they were allowing a Xbox game, which is the Call of Duty, to be able to be played on the Wii U. What do you guys think about that?
Okay, so I honestly, on the Wii U, I honestly think that's not very worth it because, number one, people who like Call of Duty, you can play a lot more Call of Duty games on an Xbox and a Wii U. Also, number two, Xbox can probably run the game a lot better, so it wouldn't really fit that well on a Wii U. Also, it would be kind of weird controls with the gamepad and all that. So, what do you think, Carter?
I agree with you. And like one of your earlier topics that I meant to bring up is when you said, well, they have all these attachments for the controller that add like the Joy-Con and not Joy-Con, I forgot what it's called.
Joy-Con grip?
Nunchuck.
Yeah.
The thing is, those are all extra things you have to buy. It's more money for.
Do nunchucks come with the Wii?
No, you have to buy them extra.
I did not.
It's more money for less value.
Yeah, and it's still not quite there because then even if you buy the nunchuck, then you still only have one thumbstick, and then you have the arrows.
First-person shooter.
But then you don't have like Xbox and PlayStation have the four like X, Y, B.
And then if you buy the Pro controller, then you also have to deal with the fact that that's more money.
Seems
Yeah.
to me that also Xbox actually comes with less stuff to it and still just making bank a lot. I think also with Nintendo on how much accessories it has to go with, that's also why it's probably lowering down because it's also more money that they have to spend on too with extra products to the thing, to the console.
Yeah, I don't know. Just, you are right about that. It is a lot more convenient with Xbox, but Nintendo's just not really fit to handle first-person shooters, is it, really?
No, it's not, and that's one of its big problems because first-person shooters
Are
a
popular.
huge market. And
Yeah, they are.
first and third person, it's like the Nintendo consoles handle Nintendo games great, and they do a lot of them really well. Like platformers, a lot of platformers. But if you want to go past platformers,
Yeah.
it has some trouble.
There is an exception with that. A third-person shooter that released on the Wii U a couple of years ago, Splatoon. That is probably the most popular Wii U game. So, at least Nintendo managed to pull that off,
Yeah, and I get what you mean. And I'm probably going to get... I don't mean... And Splatoon is... I've never played it personally. But at the same time, it's not what you... It is a third-person shooter. But it's not like a traditional third-person shooter. Like, it has the... it's very cartoony, and you cover the walls in paint and stuff.
It's turf war.
Yeah, it's a turf war.
Yeah.
And then... But say you go into... like, in Splatoon... You do shoot at the other people,
Right.
but it's more about covering the walls in paint, which takes a lot less accuracy than trying to hit another target. Like
Well, the thing is, though, there's a huge variety of different types of weapons in Splatoon, so that point does not necessarily apply to every single gun in the game or weapon in the game, But I see what you're saying still. Okay, well, anyway, changing the subject, one thing that Nintendo is doing right, one thing that they are reviving from the Wii U. The Wii U was a huge problem because its ads were mainly focused and aimed towards kids. That is terrible. But for the Switch, all you see is adults. Like, in all the Switch commercials, you see lots of adults. And I think that is extremely good, and that's also going to help Nintendo, because it's not mainly focused on kids anymore. It's adults, too. It's all ages.
Yeah, I get what you mean, and that I think that definitely helps the ads, because like, a parent might look at it and say, oh man, that looks fun, I want to play that, and it doesn't look like it's just for a little kid.
Right.
But then Xbox has already been doing that this entire time.
Yeah. All right, Michael, next question.
All right. Well, I should have been thinking of a question. Dang it.
Good job.
Yeah, I'm a great moderator.
Yeah.
No, but okay. Here's another question. Do you think that Nintendo should be adding more Xbox games to or PlayStation, basically more third parties to their things? And do you think that Xbox should have more limited games just for the Xbox? Carter?
Okay, so going back to what Carter said, yeah, the Switch can only run at 30 FPS. So therefore, honestly, I don't think they should do that. But maybe not as big games like Call of Duty, but maybe smaller games that can run at FPS and still be playable and good. You know, maybe they should add that to the Switch, but I don't think they should add too many, because I mean, you could play Call of Duty if they released Call of Duty for the Switch. Then you much rather play it on Xbox because 60 FPS and a better controller that just comes with the console than 30 FPS and a controller that you have to buy for $60. So honestly, I think that no, not really. I don't think they should go too far with it. I think they should definitely continue with what they're doing, because they are adding a lot of third-party games to the Switch. But yeah, I don't think they should go that far. You know, what do you have to say?
Well, it would be nice, and they are adding more third-party games to the Switch. And it would be nice if all games that were just games that weren't exclusive or anything were on the Switch, but the Switch just can't handle it, especially with cartridges.
Yeah.
It can't handle it. It would be great, and that would be great for the consumer who buys the Switch, because that is giving them more variety with what they're buying. And one of my big problems with the Switch and Nintendo consoles is the limited library of games.
Also with the Switch is that, say they try releasing something like Call of Duty or Halo or one of these first-person shooters, a big thing that a lot of people like to do is they'll play split screen or they'll play multiplayer. How are you supposed to play multiplayer or split screen with a Joy-Con? I mean, that's just not possible.
You just...
That goes back to buying. You would have to buy
right. Yeah,
more,
you'd have to buy more controllers.
And
they're
more
$60 for a set.
$60.
Carter,
Actually, $80 for a set of Joy-Cons.
Yeah, so I mean...
What do you
yeah.
think about what I said, having more limited games just for the Xbox? What do you think about that?
Oh, limited games just on the Xbox. I see why they're there, the exclusive games. Like Halo is an Xbox exclusive. You can't get it on PlayStation or anything, and that's great. And that's one of their selling points. But I mean, Uncharted is a PlayStation exclusive. I would love to play Uncharted on the Xbox, but
Yeah, that'd be great.
Exclusives. I get why they're there, but I wish they weren't just exclusive.
All right, we've reached our we've reached over our half-minute mark.
Halfway mark, you mean?
Yeah, halfway mark.
All right. So you have any more questions?
I have one more question, and then we'll let you two go on to a free debate, and all of you, Coltin, Gabe as well.
I have some facts about Xbox and Nintendo at the end of the video.
So basically, I have one more question: do you ever think that they will ever get together and try to come together and either create a game or try to even create a console together?
One thing I have to say about that: Mario plus Rabbids. I mean,
No.
isn't Nintendo coming? Who's Nintendo? I don't know. I don't know why I'm excited about it either. Who's coming together with Nintendo to make that game?
Rabbids?
Rabbids. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's some company, though, that's helping Nintendo make that.
I don't think they will, because, I mean, if one company like Xbox is doing well enough, and say another company is losing competition over the years, why would they want them to join their
Ubisoft.
company to make a new console?
I honestly don't know what to say to that, honestly.
I get what you're saying, Gabe. But I just think no, because it would be cool to see them come together and make some sort of console, almost have Xbox One, but with more motion controls. Like the actual Xbox One controller might have some other motion control. I don't think that would work out very well. I don't think it'll ever happen.
It probably won't ever happen. I honestly
People
don't
would
think so.
reject it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. It would be cool, but
Yeah.
I don't think it'll happen. And Gabe, you're saying competitors. I don't really see Nintendo and Xbox as competitors. I see PlayStation and Xbox as big
Yeah.
competitors because
It's
they're
a whole
going after the
different
same.
field.
Yeah, it's a whole
Yeah.
different field with the motion controls and everything. But Nintendo and PlayStation are going after the same market of people because they're using a lot of the same games. It's just the
It'd
console.
be more logical for PlayStation and Xbox to go together.
Seems to me that actually a lot of remakes been happening though. Like sometimes there's a lot of remakes with games, and that's how like some people actually get kind of bored with some of the things that happen because like they usually make remakes or like they added like an I don't know. Like,
Pokemon, Zelda, both of them have been remade so many times to
Yeah.
where it gets
Yeah.
boring for the fans.
yeah,
Not
and
to
that's why
mention
they
Mario.
want something new with it. Like with the Switch, they're adding a new like they never had like Pokemon on a console that's like a regular Pokemon game on a handheld. They never did that before, and that's why probably that game is actually going to be really famous because it's on a console instead of a handheld. Small changes will probably actually do a lot of things for people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, it is just on a console. And that's cool, and they're trying to innovate their games too. But at the same time, it's still the base premise, and that goes back to the smaller library on Nintendo. But the smaller library also, it's a lot of remakes, and like, how many Mario games do you think there are just on Wii? And just,
Well, including like just Wii games or also Virtual Console.
yeah,
A lot.
exactly, and
But the thing is, though, Virtual Console is extremely well because, like, if you wanted to play old games, it's extremely easy. So, say if you have like a Nintendo Wii U and you see the NES and you're like, oh my gosh, I wish I had that. You could. All you have to do is just go to the store to buy an eShop card. You can play old games on these new consoles. I think that's what Nintendo does. That's very, very good. Because like it's really hard to get an NES these days, you know.
yeah, I know what you mean. But
So-
Xbox also has backwards compatibility. Of like most 360 games are on Xbox One.
And they're
That's the
also-
problem, though. Most. That's also a thing that Wii U does slightly better because all Wii games. There's a whole Wii emulator on the Wii U. Not all Xbox 360 games are playable on Xbox One. That's one of the problems.
Yeah.
You have to rebuy them on the Wii U. Or I mean on the Switch.
Yeah.
If you were to rebuy them because...
I was just talking about the Wii
backwards
emulator on the Wii U.
Okay.
But also at the same
I don't
time,
know.
you can't say like not all Xbox 360 games are on the Xbox One, but also has a much larger library, like more than double the size of games. So it could be the same amount of games, even if it's not all of them compared to the.
Xbox is also a lot newer company, so half of those games, like with Nintendo, how they have NES games, they aren't there because they haven't been around that long. So, I mean, they don't have to have such a backwards compatibility because there's not games that have been made long, long ago because it's a newer company.
True. Yeah. Do you have anything to say, Colton?
Sorry.
Do you have any?
Got everything.
Do you have any vital?
There's also an eShop, or I don't know what they call it. It's Microsoft Store, I guess.
Xbox Arcade
Xbox Store or something.
Something.
But they do have a lot of old games from
like
the other consoles you can buy.
like the first Xbox or something. Yeah.
Oh, what I actually really liked with Nintendo is actually how they have almost like all their systems on one console back again. And with like Xbox, when it comes to that, they did not, for some reason, they could not add like the 360 to it, like some 360 games to it. I mean, yeah, they have some, but like with Nintendo, they have like all their consoles on it.
Yeah, like-
that's what I like about that because Xbox, if they did that, then they would probably be like that would be amazing. But Nintendo's did that more, so like
Like
That's what they're
Nintendo's
good
extremely good at like backwards compatible. Like immediately when the Wii U came out, you could just play any Wii game in HD, so it looks slightly better. You know, so you couldn't do that automatically when the Xbox One first came out. You know, so I think Nintendo's just slightly better with backwards compatibility in that way. I guess.
Yeah, sure. But then, okay, let's move on from that subject.
Yeah, yeah, we've been.
One thing I want to bring up is extra features in the consoles. Xbox One, you can watch YouTube, you can watch Netflix, you can go to
Same
the
with
store.
Wii U and Switch. Well, I don't know about Switch, but
I
Wii.
wasn't too sure. I was going to ask you about.
Yeah, Wii U, you can do all those things.
I thought you could on Wii U, but what about Switch?
Including Wii. Well, Switch.
If you look at the
think so.
Wii and the Xbox 360, which are in the same generation of games, you can see a big quality difference between Netflix on one and Netflix on the other, and other stuff like that.
That's
do a lot
because
better on
Wii
it.
was AV. Xbox 360 is HDMI.
Wii's HDMI as well though.
But
Wii U is
Wii U. That's
Wii can go HDMI too though.
Can it?
Yeah, mine is.
Okay.
I need to look at that. Anyway, I
But
actually
then, like,
did not
another
know.
thing, in Xbox, I don't know if you can on Switch or not, but if you can play any game, and if you do, say in the last 30 seconds, you did something really awesome, like, one example is, I was playing Battlefield 1, and I jumped out of a plane, and I pulled my parachute, and then on the way down, I shot 3 guys with a sniper, and got 3 kills. I just hit the home button, I hit Y, and it recorded all that. And then I can show that to my friends, and I can do that whenever I want, or take a screenshot whenever I want.
Yeah,
And that's really awesome.
that
It's
is.
a good feature.
It's a
That
really
is
cool
pretty
feature.
good. I don't think Nintendo has that.
Yeah, I
so
didn't think so.
it does kind of have that over Nintendo.
Yeah.
But going back to the like YouTube, Netflix, all those. No, unfortunately, you cannot do that on the Switch yet. Mainly just because they haven't done it yet. Because the Switch is so new. So with
Yeah, but Xbox had that when it first came out. Even the 360 had it. I'm pretty sure did the original Xbox have that too? I'm not too sure.
I'm not sure.
Okay, no.
I never
I'm
had
saying
an
no.
original Xbox.
Yeah, I didn't either. I played
had
on
the
one.
original Xbox.
Yeah, you
Okay,
did.
couldn't. Okay, I
No.
wasn't too sure.
It didn't at all.
It
no.
didn't. The Wii did. Yeah.
But then, one other thing. Like you said, the Nintendo Switch doesn't have it yet. But if it does do it, would it still be locked at 30 frames for watching a TV show or something? And we don't know that. It might not be, but I'm still kind of curious if it would be.
Okay, well, it's definitely gonna happen. They're definitely gonna add Netflix and all that.
Another thing.
But like a TV, can you just watch Netflix on a TV? Like, why do I have to use the Switch to watch Netflix? You know?
Well, I get what you're saying, but
Yeah.
like, but
Unless
what
you
if
have
you're
a smart TV? Or,
yeah, but what if you don't have a smart TV
Yeah.
and you want to watch Netflix on your TV? You could hook your computer up, but
Yeah,
that's
you
kind of a
could,
pain.
but yeah, that's kind of a pain. Well, I mean, I guess you just in that case you just work with what you got. I
Yeah.
guess. I mean, if you have to watch a TV show in 30 frames or a movie in 30 frames per second, and then yeah, you gotta do it.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I'm noticing a reoccurring thing that's coming up in this debate is Nintendo consoles can only run at 30 frames. That really honestly limits Nintendo a lot.
Yeah, I
Which
know. I
kinda
know I keep bringing it
sucks.
up, but
Yeah.
it is a huge
It
point.
is a huge point. Yeah, and then even if they updated it, the Switch would never be able to run 60.
Yeah.
You know, so that is one of the unfortunate things of Nintendo.
Yeah.
Another thing is, there's a lot more multiplayer features on Xbox. For instance, there's a bunch of achievements and stuff you can share with your friends.
Well, that's honestly just personal preference, you know. Like if you like single player or multiplayer, you know, it's
In today's society, though, everything's going online, so more people enjoy playing multiplayer with each other. But for other consoles, such as the Switch, there's
You're
less
nearing our
multiplayer.
3-minute mark remaining.
Yeah.
Anyway, what were you saying?
There's less multiplayer features. So, for example, for the example on the Wii, there was no big achievements or nothing you could share with your friends or the Wii U. You could share like a message, but you can't. There's no achievements. There's a lot more in Xbox for that region.
That is true.
And I get what you're saying, Drew, when you say that is preference, and it is, but it's still something extra that if you say I'm a big achievement hunter, I personally am not, but say I am, and
I
play
used to
on-
be.
Yeah. And but if you go onto Nintendo consoles, you don't have that, and it's honestly something a lot of people really enjoy to do.
Even PlayStation has that, like trophies. Yeah, that's also kind of.
One really big thing we're
Unfortunate.
missing here, though, is parties. Like, for example, Xbox, there's a way to communicate with your friends online while you're playing.
That's super true.
That's
But
a
you can do that with a
ginormous
Wii U,
factor.
can't you? You can do that with a Wii U, just messaging, you know?
Well,
Messaging,
But
but
we mean
Ac-
you can have a headset.
you can
and
have a
talk to
headset
people.
and talk to
Yeah.
actually,
And
with the
even
Wii U,
The Wii U does not have voice chat.
well, with the Wii U, you can actually chat. actually you could.
Yeah, it's an app called Wii U Chat.
But it's the most. It's just so stupid.
It's dumb.
Because like it sucks. It really does.
I've never actually used it, so I don't know what it's like. But I like just the name Wii U Chat
It's
and
stupid.
the whole idea behind it. That sounds really dumb.
Yeah, and like the Xbox One console even comes with a. It's a small little. It's a pretty bad headset, but it's still a headset, so you could immediately get in.
So these days, it seems like Xbox and all that they're a lot more futuristic than Nintendo. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
they're
Nintendo does not run at 30 frames. It doesn't have voice chat. The online multiplayer, I mean, it's still there, but it's not as good as Xbox. You know.
Yeah.
You know.
And like one thing, a lot like PC players.
Mm-hmm.
That have like good computers and run at like 120 frames or something stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them, if they go down to something like 30 frames, it'll give them headaches. And that's not too relevant between Xbox, but I don't know.
But one thing is, if you're just going to have a good time and playing single player, or you wanna play a game that you remember from your childhood, definitely more people, for nostalgia factor, will go to Nintendo.
Oh yes, because that's going back to Nintendo started it all, basically.
Yes, of course. Yeah. And like a lot of the people who are buying the Switch are getting it because they remember playing from their childhood and they want to play it again, and that's
Before
really
this
cool.
video ends, actually, I got some facts. I found some facts about this. So,
Okay.
Do you guys want to hear Nintendo first or
Let's
Xbox?
start with Nintendo.
Okay, so jumping in gaming. Let's go back all the way. So the first Donkey Kong game, Jumpman, or for the arcade, was pretty much Donkey Kong basically invented jumping. I'm almost done, guys.
You are?
Yeah, trust me, I am. The Game Boy was actually invented by a janitor. No.
What?
I had a
Yeah.
Game Boy. I loved my Game Boy.
Game Boys are amazing.
Oh,
Game Boy
they were so
Color.
fun.
Nintendo actually thought about making a phone. Yes, it was called the
That would
Donkey
be bad.
Kong Mobile in your pocket.
That sounds terrible.
Oh yeah. The NES held the record for the most console sales in history all the way through 2006, and then
The
Does it say-
Wii. The Wii obviously
The
took
Wii
that
is
lead.
now the holder of that.
Oh my god, everybody
And,
I know
yeah.
has a Wii.
and then
Even my grandparents.
this is for actually
my aunt.
Microsoft Xbox. The original Xbox lost Microsoft $4 billion in the first 4 years.
Wow.
Great.
$4 billion. And then the original shape of Xbox was a literal Xbox shape.
That's interesting.
54% of all Xbox 360 got a red ring of death. Okay, I don't even know what that
I don't even know
Oh,
that.
I
is.
You
got
don't know what the
that.
red
I
ring
have
of
a
death
red
is?
ring of death on one of my.
Yeah, I did
360s.
too.
I honestly don't know what that is.
It's when you get. It's like when you. It's
It
like
overheats.
In art.
Your Xbox will overheat, and eventually it'll get a red ring, meaning that it can't play.
Originally, Bungie Studios wasn't very happy about Halo on Xbox.
Oh great. Is Bungie Studios the Halo company?
Yeah, they're the yeah.
The Xbox wasn't Microsoft's first forte into consoles gaming. The Dreamcast was.
What's Sega?
Yeah,
Ah,
exactly.
Sega, Rip Nation.
It's not Nintendo.
No. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, so I think basically the good thing about Nintendo is that it introduced all these ideas that Xbox only capitalized on. So these days, if you want a more modern console that just works better, then Xbox would be your forte. But if you would like to see how gaming all started and how it has evolved mainly, especially with Nintendo, then yeah, but get it like Nintendo consoles, like a Switch. So that's kind of what we got with this debate is the Xbox is put together a lot better, but Nintendo just there's a lot more nostalgia and just history in Nintendo. So yeah. Well, I think with that we're gonna end the debate. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and if you like this video, leave a like, and if you want to hear more about more of these types of videos, then go ahead and subscribe, because every Friday is a new Cola conversation. And any last words?
I just want to... Drew Peer. Okay,
Drew.
that's a joke.
Peer.
But
What?
I just wanted to say, put any points and opinions you have in the comments. I'm interested
Yes,
to see.
Tell
definitely.
us which one you like better.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
and
tell
any
us
points that we didn't
any points that
come
we
up
didn't
with.
cover. Tell us which one you like better and why. Sega.
Sega.
And yeah, that's about it. So everybody have a great day. Thank you all for joining me with this debate. And yeah,
Thanks for having us.
all right,
Good morning and have a good day.
all right. See you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
Peace.